Okay, so this is both members of Subset.
Hello. Hello there.
Who we're very pleased to be playing a gig with on the 22nd.
That's right.
At the Macbeth in Hoxton. There we go. So this is the first instalment of our fledgling, video blog or vlog, whatever you want to call it. There we go. So, first of all, so Subset's been going since 2008, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, what were the influences that initially sort of sparked you on to start a band like Subset?
At the beginning, we wanted to do something that was very British, twingy-twangy, folk music that would combine heavy influences. So we were a lot into the bands from Hoxton and from East London. So bands like Let's Wrestle, The Rakes, The Cribs, and some influences from the Arctic Monkeys, but not the big commercial ones.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. And so, obviously, that was 2008. You've moved on a bit. So, is that the same sort of influences, or have you sort of developed over that time?
It's been changing a lot.
Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I joined the band in 2013,
mm-hmm.
so I personally come from the punk rock, hardcore kind of environment, and let's say I think I'm the one who has the heavier influences.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, because it was great to have Alex in the band, because he brought a huge amount of accuracy in very heavy music, but also he's got a melodic vibe and sense that is very, very rare and very difficult to find. So right now we've got all the influences that we had in 2008, 2009, but we've got also a stronger, edgier sense towards everything that is soft music, everything that is new gaze, everything that the Waves and Fiddlers and the bands that you would find in underground London that are trying to flourish with Fluffer Records and Roadkill Records and Dirty Rock Records. Those friends that we've got that want to put out the kind of noisy shoegaze, lo-fi garage vibe with a strong Californian kind of American flavour, and all this revisited, and the British sun that we enjoy very much.
Absolutely. When it's here.
When it's here.
So when you're sort of looking at the London scene at the moment, I know that's sort of where you guys play all over Europe, but what do you think the state of the London scene is at the moment, or the British scene more generally, if you like? There's two questions there, to be fair.
That's right. Okay, so the scene outside of London is buoyant, very rich, very diverse. Places like Bristol, Manchester, Newcastle, Brighton, Worthing. All those areas all have their own subgenres. So you've got a little bit of heavier sound on the northern part, and on the southern part it's a lot more popish and kind of blended with all sorts of influences. You still have the stronger electronic music influences coming from Bristol and from Birmingham and from that kind of part of the world. In London it's completely different. In London there is a massive punk resurgence. There is a left-wing activist punk ethos that is extremely strong, very deeply rooted and embedded in the sort of community around the political parties, very active in London. And unfortunately also it is being strangled by the difficulties of paying people's rents, the venues closing down, the number of bands that are dying out one after the other, the number of venues closing.
And even with venues like Fabric or something,
the news.
It's obviously it's set.
Man, this is very, very sad, and it's the continuation of a long string of venues that made our youth so exciting, so artistically educated, so psychologically moving. It was a massive source of influence for me, the Fabric. Before being in a rock band, I was in a drum and bass act for about 2 years. For me, the Fabric was massively important.
Yeah, absolutely. So I suppose I'll ask you another question, which is, if you could say anything direct, face to face, to Theresa May, what would you say?
You are not my Prime Minister. You turn up, you've got nothing to do here. your bollocks about reintroducing selection at schools at 11. This is an absolute shame. Whatever you're doing about Brexit, this is a shamble. You're putting yourself in terrible positions. I'm happy to still listen to whatever suggestions are made in a constructive way. This is an absolute shamble, an absolute shame of seeing people who are unelected driving what we're doing here.
Absolutely. Alex?
Yes, fair enough. I think the same.
Yeah, more of the same. And then a slightly lighter question. If you had to describe the direction you want to see Subset going in 3 words, what would they be?
Further, louder, closer. What about you?
Louder, faster and heavier. No, it's not true.
No, that's all right. You can have overlapping words. It's like
Alex, we are not in a hardcore band anymore.
it's all right. It's like a Venn diagram of your phrasing.
It's just joking because Roman hates it. So.
Okay. Well, anyway, very nice to be speaking to you guys. Subset.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching us. Thanks for following us. Thanks for also listening to the Rioters. They've got some great music. They've got a new EP called Cocktails. Have a look at them.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye.